Who wants to make money? Who wants to make some future plans? I would love to make more money than I'm making right now.
That's for sure.
Definitely for the future plans I have. More money. Also, you know that saying, more money, more problems? I actually do not believe that. I don't. More money, more solve the problems.
Um,
For me.
I think otherwise, more money, more problems. But that's just because I got siblings, little siblings. So it's like I have to. Sometimes I just have to just give in.
Yeah.
So
So, my first little piece of advice for you all, but what I really should be taking for myself because I think it's useful and I just keep putting it off. Don't be like me. Is what I'm trying to say is think outside the box with your investments. So obviously, um, your investment accounts that you can do and like CDs and things like that. But think about small businesses that actually would give like a good margin profit. So like laundromats. Also, storage containers, I hear, are a great investment. You don't have to literally do anything. You just buy these storage containers and rent them out to people. I know a few people that do that and they make a solid
mhm.
passive income
Me,
and real estate.
yeah, real estate is solid. I feel like everybody should at least own their own piece of their real estate,
I did not
whether if
want
you're using it or not.
to get into real estate for passive income. I just wanted a home. But
Mm.
now through all this last few months, I honestly think that if
Yeah,
when I buy my first home, I'm probably gonna buy like a duplex or something and rent out the other side and then get that passive income and then buy
bring it
a
in.
better place. Yeah.
Yeah, me. Um, and everybody's different. Everybody has their own like little mindset they grew up with. At least for me right now, it's also about like finding if you're in the workforce. I could just put it like that. If you're in the workforce, this is gonna sound very office just because simply the job market can go from here to here in seconds. So it's like, but you can't pick like any job, especially if you want to stay there long term. Find something that truly benefits you.
Yeah.
Because my job, they kind of lay it out off, which is really, really nice. They lay it out all for me. They kind of even tell me what to do, and I just pick on what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So with my job, we have something called a 401A and a 401B, similar to a 401K. And we also have a Roth IRA that we can manage by ourselves.
Oh, that's nice.
And they pull it out of our checks to put into the Roth. And
Yeah.
we can pull it tax free. So I opted into those two options. So whether if I stay for a year or 10 years, I can pull all my earnings tax free and I'm still having all my benefits. So, and if you get a job and they pay well, but it ain't got good benefits, in that case, save a little bit more than you would just for like a rainy day
Oh
or
gosh.
health insurance hits the fan
That is me
or
right
whatever the
now.
fuck. So it's like it can get really scary, especially with health insurance.
Yeah.
Health insurance is just like the job market, just worse.
Yeah.
Like ain't nobody really trying to cover nobody for real.
And honestly, I'm not saying leave your job. Um and it looks better for other employers if you have at least a few years of
Yeah,
that job. And I don't know who's going to see this or whatever, but I don't necessarily, and I've said this before, I don't necessarily intend to stay in my position. But one major reason I do not intend to stay in my position for an extreme long term is health insurance. And I do not see this district ever improving their health insurance.
yeah, and that's a deal breaker for a lot of people because I
It
mean, like
needs to be.
life is life. Like you don't know when. Granted, knock on wood, you hit a pole, somebody hits you, and then on top of
Or
that,
some
Florida,
random health condition just appears.
yeah,
You never know.
and then especially on the motor vehicle side, like Florida is a no fault state. So it's like that alone can play into whether if you get coverage for your injuries or not.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, if the benefits kind of suck, just save a little bit more than you usually would. But if you're getting good benefits, I'm not giving you as an excuse to spend the money you made, but you do have a little bit more leeway because in the back of your mind, you got
And
good
I would
decent
invest
coverage.
that money somehow.
Yeah, invest it
Or save, like,
or
save it.
put it in
Put
a
in a
high
CD
yields,
or, yeah.
put it in the high yields, and you can roughly retire early compared to the American citizens. You probably pull that out around 40, 50.
Yeah.
And then just don't spend it all. Indulge in the freedom of having finances. I guess that's a smarter way to say it, but don't be stupid about it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's nice if you wanted to, you can buy this right now, but think about it on like a scale. Can I afford this 3 times over, or can I afford it
I
when
yeah,
shit hits the fan?
I was just gonna say, like,
So,
it's nice to know that, like, you have the money and that you could go do that stuff, but, like,
mm-hmm,
that's a lot of things nowadays are really expensive. So, like, honestly,
very,
you need the money.
yeah. So,
So,
and I would say another thing: make like protective purchases. And what I mean by that, like as we see with going back to cars, as much as they say gas is going down, it is not going down.
oh god, no.
So like, and I gotta listen to my own advice. If you know you driving something that is very gassy, go get you a nice little cheap gas car,
I have been telling him
$15
this
to
since
fill
I met
up,
him.
and it'll take you 2 weeks. And then you just saving money right there, not
Oh,
putting it
yeah.
in gas.
Also, like, talking about, like, put your money into things, I feel like I should do this. But, like, also think about, I feel like we always just think stock and investments and bonds,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, there are certain physical things that you can buy and your money is always going to be good.
Yeah.
Like gold.
Gold.
Gold
And
is a really good investment.
you got on some accounts, I forgot. It's not copper. It's something along that family of metals.
Yeah. Well,
That
and I know, like, collector coins, like, you
hmm
can make bank off those if you have like a good stack of them.
or
And
like any various like sports attire and stuff
yeah,
like that.
if you like actually have a good collection. So,
hmm
like, I'm not saying you have to collect. I don't know if I'd really want to collect, but
hmm
if you were like invested in like getting a good collection and knowing that, hey, I could use this sometime later on and like
It definitely comes in
get,
handy. Yeah.
yeah. My next thing that I highly suggest is, if you're interested in any of these things, or like, you know, promoting your own financial wealth
hmm
and health, do your research. Do not just jump in. And like,
Yeah.
as tempting as that is, I'm a huge jumper in. Like, someone says, "Let's oh, you got accepted to this place." I'm like,
hmm
"Okay, yeah, nope, not going to look at the place at all. I got accepted, going to go do that."
hmm
That's been me my whole life. But
Yeah.
as I've gotten older, I've had to retract that. So, research, like, actually look at things. I'm not trying to say don't take a little bit of the risk, because if you aren't willing to take a risk at all, then you're not gonna.
Yeah. You ain't gonna make it nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see much room for growth in that, but definitely make sure you have
Yeah.
plans. Like,
For that.
write a business plan. Like, talk to people that run businesses, or
hmm
talk to people that are doing or investing in the things that you're interested in doing or investing in.
Surround yourself around smarter people as well.
Yeah.
People who got more money than you, smarter than you, got more business attraction and mindset than you do. Cause it's not like a point of competition, but like just being around them, you adapt to that like lifestyle. So you just kind of gravitated more, and then you'll unconsciously just get to doing what they do, and then it all just come your way. And
Yeah.
like she was saying earlier, you can minimize or maximize the risk that you want to take. Everybody's different,
Mhm.
but regardless of the fact, you have to take a risk. If you don't, you're not really gonna see no improvement. Especially in my belief, I think the best teacher in this life. I think I said it last episode. Trial and error is gonna be your best teacher. It's going to teach you what not to do and what to do again. And it's going to teach you the ways to do it and ways to not do it, or ways you can correct yourself on doing it.
Yeah. And
So you
like,
just have to go through those steps to see that. And if you don't, then it's crash time.
yeah. And the other thing is like not even just risk, but like your effort. Like with this podcast that we're starting and like some of our own other like content that we are pumping out, it's like if you don't just try, you never know what
Yeah.
may happen, but you do have to put in some effort and like consistency. And from what I've kind of seen from people that talk about this and share their previous or ongoing experience is that like you just literally have to keep going until your videos are seen so often through that length of time. That's when you kind of start to hit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's more consistency than anything. That's like my biggest thing. Even in my own personal ventures right now, I have no discipline whatsoever. Like if I'm being so real, like with me, I know that I kind of lack discipline, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I try to find ways to accommodate myself. So maybe as in like the time goes on, that discipline builds. But I know cause me, I know if I want to start a new workout routine, and I say just wake up at 8 o'clock every morning, but I know damn well I ain't going to sleep till about 2, 3 in the morning.
Mhm.
All right, let me try to find a way to accommodate this,
Yeah.
but still actually get the work in plus some. So it's like, but it's more consistency and discipline than anything,
Oh, for sure.
and that's with
Whether
everything.
that's like the content or like looking into the business and stuff, like
Yeah,
you can't just half ass it, you
not at
know?
all.
Now, another thing that I absolutely hate being asked, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, I guess these are valid questions. But if you ever like apply for college or for jobs, a lot of jobs or like colleges, and this is like any type of job, okay? But a lot that I've applied to will be like, what's your 1 year plan? What's your 5 year plan? What's your 10 year plan? And they want to
Hmm.
know because they obviously want to see like how long and what you intend to do for their company.
Hmm.
But like, that's a good way to kind of look at your life too. Like, what
Yeah.
is like your 1 year goal? You know, what do you want to see yourself doing in 5 years? What do you want to see in 10 years? Like when James and I were thinking of this one business, I started writing up a business plan, and part of it had included like the longevity of when certain things would open. And um I used like Google AI and things like that to kind of give me ideas and this and that. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, like at year 5, like year 2 to 5, like having like a mobile app to do some of these things or
Yeah.
this or that. Like if you don't think ahead, then when you get there, you're gonna
Yeah.
become stagnant.
Preventative thinking, some will
Yeah.
call it, and it's like you gotta think that way.
It's
And
just it's a good practice. Not saying that it's going to end up the way that you
yeah,
had planned
and
it.
it never
It
does.
never does. I
It
was just
never
gonna say
does.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I've never done anything in my freaking life where it has ended up the way I thought. Doesn't mean it ended up badly.
Yeah. And that's why, like, a lot of successful people will say this, like, all about the small steps. That's why, like, if you was to, let's just say, what's your goal in the next 30 seconds, and you was hungry, you would go downstairs and get some food. That's so like count that as like a small step. You just now if you was to say like, oh, I'm gonna go jump down there and get some pizza real quick. Okay, you go jump down the flight of stairs. So like, what's the risk of that? And then you go get a pizza that's non-existent in your kitchen. That ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a long step, and a lot of people want to take those long steps,
Right away.
like right off the bat. Can't do that.
Yeah.
That's why it makes more sense to take small steps, and then at that point in time, you can kind of afford a long step or two.
Yeah.
But then it's back to the small steps until those small steps grow, 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 and get bigger. Now you're kind of getting to where you want to go. But even when you're taking little steps, it may not feel like you're getting somewhere. but you're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's all that really matters. As long as you're consistent and
Yeah.
disciplined.
Kind of go with that, and like what we were just previously talking about, um, is that I do think like it's important in a way to kind of like stand out and like make yourself kind of like unique. But I
Yeah.
don't think it actually is as important as just having like really good quality work or like business. And I say this because one, we look at all these content creators that are doing exactly the same stuff, right?
Hmm.
But there's people that follow all of them because they like that stuff. So they
Yeah.
will follow you. But another example is when I was first starting off looking at like small businesses and thinking of things, I was like, okay, well, I know like a bookstore would be a higher risk than like a laundromat, right?
Hmm.
Um, and a very close family friend of mine, he owns a cafe. And before that, he was like one of the people that literally got Starbucks up and running and like all throughout like the US. Like he's
Hmm.
just a smart, forward thinking dude. Um, and when I had said my few things, like suggestions of what I would do with like the laundromat, like we kind of talked about like
Hmm.
specific things that would be in there. He was like, I love it. Like you, and he was like, like, and I was like, well, what, well, if there's a bunch of laundromats, like, how do I? And he was like,
How do
that
you
doesn't
stand
really
out?
matter. He was like, that doesn't really matter if, because look, our cafes here, two blocks away is another cafe, 2 blocks that way is another cafe.
Hmm.
He was like, you think people only go to one of these cafes? People
Yeah.
come to
No.
all of these.
Yeah.
And then you do have like certain loyal customers, but he's like, there's plenty of people to be shared,
Yeah.
you know? And the thing is that they stay in business because they have quality stuff.
Yeah. And that just goes with the consumer part of it all. Like, not. I feel like the only thing, and I guess just because I'm a boy, but like, I feel like the only thing that you'll find like a more consistent customer base, at least for men, is our barber. Don't quote me for it. I'm just being real. I feel like
Wait,
barbershops,
restate that.
barbershops will kind of see that more set customer base because they ain't gonna go to
Mm,
nobody else. Because not everybody go trust anybody with their head.
that's true.
Because if I walk out the barbershop and my hairline crooked, it's a problem. But like she was saying, there's plenty of services and people to be shared.
Yeah.
Like not one person may love a service, but then you may
Yeah.
have another, you know, person or whatever that offers a service and they might like it better, or they even love that one is equal to they love the first one. So now they got options to choose from, and one is not there, and then one is there, and vice
Yeah.
versa.
And a lot of the cafes, like in my hometown where this guy's at, they're all different. Like they all have a different vibe,
Hmm.
but they all do honestly the same amount. Like they
Yeah.
all have successful businesses.
So it's just what people feel at the time, want to see, want to hear, want
Yeah.
to eat, and all that stuff. But you just being open and that being an option, in that case, being an option is okay. It's making money. Now, if we're talking about relationships and shit, I know you don't want to be no option. But in that case, just having your services open and broad and knowing that you offer quality stuff, then you're straight. You just gotta be disciplined
Yeah.
and you gotta just stick to the course.
Because I feel like I always wanted to like start like a podcast or vlog like in my like teens and like early 20s, but I just never was like, I couldn't wrap my head around doing something that other people weren't already doing and being successful. And I kept
Yeah.
being like, I need to have a niche, like a very specific thing that I am only doing. And then like, looking at all of everyone's content being very similar and people doing okay, and then having that conversation with someone that is
Hmm.
business successful, it just was like a very big clarity of like, F it, we could do
Yeah.
it.
And everybody, in a sense, kind of does the same thing. But it's some audiences love people who kind of similar to like their personality
Yeah.
and like have the same personality in them and all that stuff. So it's like, yes, be unique. You have to have that niche, that kind of grabs
You
people's
want a
attention.
brand. I think
Yeah,
that's the important thing is brand yourself well,
very well.
but that doesn't mean that you have to do something that's like no one else is
Absurd.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just sticking the course.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself. That's the biggest thing. But you just, it's, it may look simple, but it is not simple
Yeah.
at all. Like, even with the podcast thing that we're doing, we're
A lot of
grabbing,
hookups,
yeah,
hiccups.
we're grabbing traction. It's just slowly.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it, but traction is there. It's just simply getting to it every week, staying on top
That
of the social
and
medias and
figuring
everything
out
else.
all like the technical stuff, which
Yeah.
is slowly getting better. But I
But
mean, that's the beginnings, like the humble beginnings of everything,
that's it.
right? Like, I feel like everyone that I listen to, besides like the random people that actually got their degree in like digital media or this or
Hmm.
that or journalism, like this one podcast that I listened to, they started off basically doing just this,
Yeah.
and they always refer to like these days as like their underwater days because they also kind of sounded like us with the mics and
Hmm.
stuff. And they're like, it's kind of embarrassing, but at the same time, humble beginnings. And
Yeah.
like, this is where that's when they gained like a huge amount of audience too.
Yep.
Was like a lot of people did come and like re-listen to their old stuff and was like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, okay, like you have a good product. It might not sound like the highest quality, but like
Yeah.
we really like to listen
It's
to
getting
what you
there.
have to say.
But once you find that niche, it's
Yeah.
over. At that point, it's just a rocket. So,
Yeah.
did you have any more questions on this?
I have no more tips, tricks, or advice. So,
Just be smart, people.
yeah, think
And
ahead.
if anything, AI is really reactive and like really smart right now. So take advantage of it. It's a whole bunch of apps out there that helps you budget, and there's a whole bunch of apps that puts money to the side for you already, or it gives you. You can just ask OpenAI
I do want
just
to
for like
say
a
though,
budget and
like
market
double
like
check your
sketch.
stuff with AI.
Yeah,
Like make sure that like things are going
like it ain't
correct
no
or
problem with
like
that.
it's not random stuff. Like double check. But like I do support using. I mean, we're not getting
Yeah,
away from it.
AI
So,
saved me from a lot of stupid decisions I was deciding on making within this past month alone.
yeah.
So it's like ask AI and double check with yourself, maybe some of your peers. I wouldn't say ask anybody because it's some people who just doesn't be at that level that you feel like you're at. So or what you're working towards. So you got to be selective on who you choose with that. But other than that, just cross check, triple check your work, and be smart about
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best with your future endeavors.
it. Get rich. Don't be stupid.
Yeah. Follow and subscribe.
I guess you said you gonna be here at 6:30.
Yes.